Hi guys, welcome back to the YouTube channel. It's going to be a very interesting video because this week, we are going to be talking about the checklist. Not technically the checklist, but I'm going to talk about the checklist. I'm going to talk about how to use it even without using the app because when Alex dropped the checklist last week, it crashed kind of because of a lot of people trying to use it, it's crashed. So I'm going to write out a manual checklist for you to use each and every week for your trades. I'm going to write it out for you so that you can be able to like grade your own trades personally on your own, be able to grade it even without the checklist. So I'm also going to do this week's breakdowns along with the checklist. We're going to do it step by step along with the checklist, break everything down for you guys so that you guys can actually break it down on your own, even without needing the checklist for those that can't access it. So we're going to start from GBP USD. I think this is the most interesting pair for us right now because we were interested in the last 2 weeks. I like the way it's looking. As I said, I'm going to break down the checklist manually for you guys. Each and every pair, each and everything should use to enter a trade because I know that last week I took a very risky trade here. I'll talk about it as we go. So the first thing we're going to do on this, we're going to look at the trend because the weekly time frame. The weekly time frame is, for me, I would say is bearish based on experience, but if you look at it based on high highs and high lows, this is bullish. But for me, I'll say it's bearish because we have, I think it's an experience thing, but we have this lower high here and lower low here. This for me, this lower low, I won't count this as structure. I'll say this is my area of interest right here. Area of interest one, this is the area of interest two. I typed dot one go. This is my area of interest two, and this weekly is bearish. The checklist. Remember, I'm going to term it the checklists. Our checklists, yeah. Yeah. And we'll go with on number one. The weekly, I said the weekly is bearish. Write it down. The weekly is bearish, and that weekly being bearish, it carries 10%. Then we go to the weekly is bearish. What are we doing? As according to the checklist is 10%. I think I would post the checklist on my Twitter. So don't forget to follow me there. I'll post the checklist, what you need to be checking out for each trade, each and every week. I'll post it on my Twitter, everything that is on my checklist. So you should check it out. The link will be there in the description below. The handle will be there. I'll also post it there. So don't forget to check it out there. I also drop free signals there. I've been dropping signals there for back to back for months right now. So don't forget to follow me there and see the signals I drop there. Turn on post notifications because I do drop the signals at random. So just make sure you follow me there so you can actually catch and follow up on these trades. I like this GPUs that I think this is my number one pair for this week because if you come to the checklist, we have the weekly is bearish for me. Are we retesting the EMA? No. Are we at around psychological level? No, we are not at okay, yeah, we are at around psychological level 132,500. 132,500. Yeah, that's a very beautiful round psychological level right there. So we're going to add it there 500. We're going to add it to our list. We're going to be like, yeah, we have to retest in round, sorry, round psych level. Yeah. Then but three, we have what else do we have on we have what else we are making this checklist to make sense. So we have on the weekly, we also have that's a 5%. Sorry, 5%. Then we go down to the I don't think we have any other thing that we are looking out for here. Candlestick, no. Yes, we go down to low daily time frame. The other time, what are we seeing here? I love this checklist, just makes it easier for you. Just tells you when to enter the trade. It tells you the exact time. Like, is this trade ready right now to go? You check on your checklist and know, find out. On number three, we have daily. What's the daily doing? We have the daily is retesting the EMA. We were retesting daily EMA. Beautiful. That's another 5%. 5%, sorry, 5%. On the four, what was the daily thing? We have a daily rejection, candlestick rejection. I love this daily candlestick rejection from the area of interest. First of all, we have We forgot to write that it is retesting weekly area of interest, and then the next we have daily candlestick rejection, right? Yeah, so number 6, we have, what else do we have on the daily? So we also have retesting daily area of interest. And what are the percentages for this? We have retesting weekly area of interest, that is 10%. Retesting daily candlestick rejection, we will give it 10%. Retesting daily area of interest, that is also a 10%. So how many percent do we have right now? We have 10%, 5, 15, 20, 30, um, 40, 50. Don't forget, we forgot to talk about the trend of the daily time frame. Daily time frame is bearish. So we add the daily is bearish. That is another 10%. Yeah. That's another 10%. That is, we have 10, 10, 20, 25, 30, 40, 56. We already have 60% on GBP telling us that GBP is, it wants to go to the downside, right? GBP wants to go to the downside. So we have 60% telling you that, yeah, this pair, I think we are almost ready to take it to the downside. Very, very confident in the pair taking to the downside. Then after that we have, if we go down to 4 hours, do we have any other thing on the daily time frame that we can say that is a confluence? I think we have added every other thing. Yeah, we have added every other thing that we can say that is happening on the daily time frame. But on the 4 hour, go down to the 4 hour time frame. 4 hour time frame is bullish. We'll type it up. Don't forget, we'll type it up too. It's 4 hour time frame is bullish. So yeah, bullish. That is, we want to sell. So we're not going to, 4 hour time frame bullish is, if we are taking it to the upside, it's going to be another 10%. But since it's not added to the confluences of that, since we want to sell, we're not going to give any percentage because we are looking to sell. If this 4 hour time frame was bearish, we would have said there's an extra 10%. We're making all the time frames in sync. So only the two time frames are in sync, that's the weekly and the daily time frame, they are in sync. So we have the 4 hour time frame. 4 hour time frame is still bullish. So we need, the 4 hour time frame was trending to the upside. We saw this low, we saw this higher low, we saw this higher high, higher low, higher high. So now price is currently rejecting this area of interest here and it's having a pullback. So I believe this might be the leg that price is having to break through this zone. Might potentially be the leg. So we need a new confirmation come Monday, come when market opens, we need a new confirmation in our session to take this trade to the downside. So, and we already have our lower time frame shift, or lower time frame confirmation that price is going heading to the downside, even on the 30-minute time frame. So we can see we've had on 4 hour time frame, we've had an SOS, that's a shift of structure, right? And 4 hour rejection, yeah, 4 hour rejection. So these two things, I think we'll give it another 10%. So when we get our entry signal, that will be the last 10%. So we have 10, 10, that's 20, 25, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. So we really have 70%, 70% that, like a 70% assurance that this pair is telling us that it wants to go to the downside. You understand? We really have 70% telling us that, yeah, out of 100, we have 70. Even when you're in school, it's 70%. This 70% is, I think, is a B. I don't know. I think is, I can't remember, but I know that 70% is either a B or a C, whatever. But an A will be from 90% and above. So this pair is looking very nice to sell. So is the stronger trade would be waiting for the 4 hour time frame to go bearish. That is a stronger trade to take, a a more confident trade to take. If 4 hour breaks below this zone and we test it, it gives us an entry signal. That's a stronger trade to take because we'll have all the time frames in sync. That's when this might change to a 90% trade because that will be an A plus setup. So that is basically how to use the checklist. I would send the whole checklist, what you should check out for on each and every trade on my Twitter, I will send everything. I'll drop it there on my Twitter. So don't forget to follow me there so that you can get the whole checklist. Now, on to the next pair. I won't break down the next pair as detailed as this because it will take a lot of time. So the next pair, I'm not going to go straight into the market analysis. Oh, where's my second one? I didn't edit my second one. Euro USD, my second pair for this week. I'm basically waiting for a rejection. I really love the way its price is holding below this EMA. If you go to the past, you'll see that price rejected. Anytime price gets to the EMA, it rejects the EMA. Anytime the price gets here, it rejects the EMA. So basically, I'm looking to sell after a rejection from this EMA. Price rejected. We're basically just repeating the same thing we did here. Price rejected this EMA here and sold off, waiting for another rejection to sell again on Euro USD. The next one we have is Euro GBP from last week. I dropped the signal live also on my Twitter. Don't forget to follow me there. A lot of gems are there. A lot of gems are there. Free signals. Like you don't need to pay anything. Just get involved with the trade and make money along with us. I dropped the signal. The trade they actually get to the take profit. So we are still meant to be holding this trade, but casually there are some moves that make me close. But I won't disclose that one right now. While waiting for on this pair on Euro GBP, waiting for a pullback to this level, pullback to this point. So sell again. I really love the way this level is looking. You remember we have a left head, right shoulder on this zone. As it broke, price retested the neckline of head and shoulders, gave us a rejection, beautiful rejection. That is where we sold, and we're waiting for a pullback to the same zone to sell again because this pair still has a lot of downside potential, judging from the weekly time frame and from the daily time frame. Very, very nice downside potential on Euro GBP. Another pair we actually have a lot of pairs this week, like 12 pairs. So it's going to be the video is going to be a little bit lengthy, but it's worth your time. Stay to the end so you can see how we do this. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter so that you can see how we drop the signals live. This is another very, very beautiful, beautiful trade right there. Setting up on the GBP AUD. Very, very beautiful trade. I can't even lie. We have the weekly time frame is bearish, the daily is bearish, and the 4 hour is also bearish. We have all the time frames in the same for GBP AUD. Also have a left head right shoulder on GBP AUD showing that price is currently um can possibly go to the downside on the GBP. Very, very beautiful trade. I'm not even gonna lie. So we're just looking for a pullback to the neckline of the head and shoulders to sell. Very beautiful. We also have a round psychological level. Trust me, if I was to type up the confluences for GBP, this would possibly most likely get to a 90% or a 95% because we have the daily EMA, we tested daily EMA, we have the daily rejection candlestick, we have for our daily bearish, we have the 4 hour bearish, we have the weekly bearish. We have the round psychological level, a lot of confluences to take this trade to the downside. So I don't see any reason we will not sell. Like when you see all these things line up, why won't you take the trade? Why are you talking about psych? Why are you scared? Why are you talking about psychology? You shouldn't even be scared because when you see all these things line up for you, you should just execute the trade. You don't even need to think. There's nothing to think about. Just take the trade because it's already a probability. So just take the trade and let's see how it goes. Euro card had the trade from last week. I was looking for a break of this zone, which price never broke the zone. Price never broke this nice level of support and resistance, which is also printing a potential left head right shoulder right here. Then when you get a break, we get the retest of the neck to the neckline of the head and shoulders, nice support and resistance level to sell basically on Euro card. So we're going to be updating you guys on what that pair does. The next pair we have is NZD-USD. I remember last week on NZD-USD, we're waiting to sell from this zone. Price go back to this zone, but price broke through the zone. So we didn't need to change the zone. No need to change the zone because support, when price is above support, it uses it as when price is above support and resistance, then uses that support to go up. When price is below, it uses it as resistance to keep going lower. So we're basically using the same level to buy the trade. So we're waiting for price to just basically have a pullback to this zone to buy on NZD-USD. Basically break and retest. Simple. NZD-USD, very, very simple trade. Textbook trade right there setting up. UAB NZD, very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. I'm interested in this pair. Watch out. This pair might be the golden one because we have on the on the daily time frame, we have a kind of potential keyword potential left head, right shoulder forming right here, and it's currently rejecting. So Not that is not that was not the price that made me to be interested. Another thing on the daily time frame, we have another potential left head. We're waiting for the right shoulder here. The potential in air quotes, potential right shoulder to sell on GBP NZD. So on the 4 hour time frame is looking very nice too. 4 hour time frame is bearish. On the 4 hour time frame, we have that pullback to this round psychological level 21 32,500. 232,500, whatever. When we get that pullback to one psychological level, 4 hour will still be bearish, and we will look for sales on GBP NZD. Another pair we have a lot of pairs this week. Very interesting. We have to be very much active this week because a lot of money can potentially be made this week, guys. Be active. Follow me up. Follow me up on Twitter. This is good. This week might be fire. Entry first week of December, it might be fire. It might be fire. But let's see how it goes. SLD card, I didn't stretch this zone out to the back because it was so long. I don't want to go into it. But basically, on dailies bullish, we have areas of interest 1, 2, and 3. When price pulls back to any of them, we would be interested in the trade then. So I don't think we don't have any round psychological levels inside. Only on this zone we have around psychological level, but the zone is too far. Till we get there, when price pulls back, we'll have a retest of the EMA 2. That will also be another confluence. If I also type of the confluence is 2, that will be a very, very good trade on NZD card. So looking for buys on NZD card. USD CHF is very, very interesting pair. I can't even lie. The weekly looks like trash. I'm not even gonna lie, man. The weekly looks so trashy, like it looks like crap. But then the daily, that's what made it interesting because the daily is currently bearish, as you all know, um lower high and lower low basically. So this was the area of interest I chose because I think I attempted selling here before and I got wicked out. I think this was in September. Yeah, September. I got wicked out. The trade was on my Twitter live. I remember posting this trade on my I posted it live for free. I posted AUD USD that week and USD CHF. I hit TP on AUD USD and I got wicked out on USD CHF. So this pair I'm looking to sell basically because we have lower high, lower low, prices bearish on the daily, prices bearish on the 4 hour. So it looks a very choppy trade, but still looks okay. I didn't take this position. I would have potentially taken it from here. So I like this support, resistance, support. Anytime price go here, price rejected. Very nice level of support and resistance. That's how I'm looking at the trade right now. On the 4 hour time frame, we have this left head right shoulder here that I've marked up already. Price is currently rejecting the neckline of the head and shoulders. So what I'm waiting for price, I'm waiting for a pullback to retest the head and shoulders to sell again. So I'm going to delete this, yeah, and I'm going to wait for a pullback. The neckline of the head and shoulders, back to the neckline or back to the area of interest to sell because that's a very, very beautiful left head right shoulder right there. The next pair we have is AUDJPY. I'm looking to buy because I like the way price has kept rejecting this zone. Very lovely wicks here, very lovely wicks there. We have a round cycle level on this same zone. We have round cycle level 100,000, 105,000, like 100,500. We have very nice now psychological level right there on this area of interest. So waiting for a price on AUDJPY to come below, come retest the area of interest and keep buying on AUDJPY basically. So the next pair, second to the last pair, very interesting. I'm not even gonna lie. I think I called this trade last week, but I missed it. So I'm going to delete that. And JBCHF looks very nice. I'm not even gonna lie, I love this zone on the time frame. I love this zone. I love this nice level of support, support, and to the left you also have the support level. And this price made a very, very crazy low, very, very crazy low, and is now currently rejecting some. I expect price to have a pullback retest of this area of interest. I really love this zone. I like the way it's looking at it. I know that price might have probably reject from this zone. Very, very interesting. I'm not gonna lie. I'm looking at a very nice 1 to 2 on this trade. Potential 1 to 2 on this trade is very nice. I can't even pass it up. Also going to most likely when you retest here, going to retest the for our EMA, and the stop loss is going to be there. Looking at the potential minimum of 1 to 2 weeks to roll from that trade. It's very, very nice. And then the last one on the list pair, I added this one to my list, dying minute, because it looks choppy as hell, man. It looks choppy as hell. I'm meant to be looking for sales on this pair. If you have to look at it in, let me see, about a year ago, I would have been looking for sales on this pair. A year ago, I would have been looking for sales because I would be telling myself, this is the left head, right shoulder. Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this and that? But then, if you go to the daily time frame, I'm looking at it from all angles. I've taken a trade here. I've taken a buy here. I've taken a buy here. I won the buy. I took a sell here. I won the sell. But then I took another sell and I lost it. Beautiful. Now, what am I interested in doing? From the same zone, I'm interested in buying again. From this same zone, I've been doing all these buys, sells, and all that. I'm waiting on the same zone to buy again. I'm very interested in these buys, but then it's not my best pair for the week. It's not my best. So I've not changed any zone on this pair for the past 6, 7 weeks. So the zones from here, I think from September. Okay, that's months now. September, October. Yeah, that's months now. I've not changed for like 3 months. I haven't changed these zones. They've been the same. So same support and resistance level zone. So I'm going to wait for a pullback to this zone. We have round cycle. We don't have round cycle. We have round cycle here. We do not have round cycle. So we are just going to wait for a pullback on AUD USD to buy. I think maybe to fill this week. Maybe, but then or to buy to this zone, something like that. Very, very interesting. Very interesting. Interesting. Yeah, yeah. Then I think that is all. I think someone keeps telling me, people keep telling me I can get them talking about I should talk about gold, talk about BTC USD, talk about Bitcoin and stuff. I'm like, why not? I'm doing what the people want, so why not? On the weekly time frame on gold, gold is just so high, man. I can't even say that I will know what to do here. It's just so high up. But then it's trending up. Why not join everybody? But then I'm not really a fan, to be honest. I marked up the zone on gold. My take on gold will just be this side. It doesn't change from what is already there. We have this zone, we have one touch here. To mark it up, let everybody be seen, even the blind see. You have this zone, we have this touch, we have two, and we have three. So I'm basically waiting for a pullback to the same zone to buy because this is the most logical support and resistance level I can see based on the most recent price action. So I'm going to wait for a pullback to this zone. Apparently, going to be retesting the EMA and then looking for buys on XAUSD. Don't mind this position here. I was just testing out if the strategy works on gold. But then apparently it does work. So that one aside, I am waiting for a pullback to just continue the trend on gold. And talking about BTC, that's Bitcoin, coin. Um, okay, okay. I had analysis on this. I didn't really do much. But then I will start doing the markup here. But BTC USD, I talked about looking for buys. If I'm looking to buy or to talk about buying this, I need a break above this zone and a retest of this zone to then be provided on BTC USD because that way the 4 hour goes bullish. But then I can just be testing it out for now and see how it goes. But then it's not really my strong suit rather. So I think that is all for this week. I'll see you guys on the next video. I'll see you guys on YouTube and thank you guys for watching me. See you guys on the next video. Bye.